Think about the features society deems most beautiful in women. A tiny body, baby smooth, wrinkle-free skin, a hairless body from the eyebrows down, a high,
cute voice,
an accommodating, unthreatening, submissive demeanor. The perfect woman is always expected to look and act like a little girl. Aside from the rare genetic outliers, no adult woman possesses the face or body of a child, at least not naturally. So the beauty industry steps in to help to sell you on how you can mimic one. Shave, wax, or laser away normal body hair.
This You Like device has been a game changer. I've really integrated this into my routine just so that I always have smooth skin. It makes your hair grow in just thinner and lighter and less. And that is the best. I'm obsessed.
This is how I turn myself into a naked mole rat. I start by shaving my face. This makes my skin absolutely glow. For the bod, we dry brush first. All my hair is coming off.
Slather on anti-aging creams and inject yourself with Botox if or even before you see a single wrinkle.
3 skincare tips you should start doing so you can look 10 years younger.
Come with me to get Botox at 20 years old.
If you use sunscreen, you'll prevent sun damage. If you use sunscreen and retinol, you'll prevent sun damage and repair cell damage. If you use sunscreen, retinol, and antioxidants, you'll prevent sun damage, repair cell damage, increase your collagen production, and have environmental protection. If you use sunscreen, retinol, antioxidants, and a brightening product, you'll prevent sun damage, repair cell damage, have increased collagen production, environmental protection, and reduce brown spots. If you use sunscreen, retinol, antioxidants, a brightening product, and hyaluronic acid, you'll prevent sun damage, repair cell damage, increase your collagen production, have environmental protection, decrease brown spots, and increase the buoyancy of your skin with hydration. If you use sunscreen, retinol, antioxidants, a brightening product, hydrating cream, and active growth factor,
you'll have a new face.
Stay as thin as humanly possible. If curves creep in as a result of you getting older, or maybe you just had children, then there's shapewear or diet plans or GLP-1s that you can take to fix that.
I probably should not be admitting this on the internet, but these are unhinged and controversial things that I eat to stay supermodel skinny.
One of the habits help me to stay thin. It's intermittent fasting.
You want to lose weight? This is how to get skinny for the petite girls only.
All of these perceived flaws are just signs that you've entered into adulthood, signs that you've lived, signs that you've grown. But an entire economy thrives on women believing that adulthood itself is ugly. Let's talk about how modern day beauty standards just want you to transform yourself into a little girl. Since time immemorial, there's always been the stereotype of the rich, powerful man who loves chasing barely legal women. Like, I know we all make a joke about the fact that Leonardo DiCaprio dumps all of his girlfriends after they turn, I think, 26, but let's talk about that. Let's talk about how that's normalized. There's also the proliferation of porn categories of barely 18, nubile, hot babe. Like, we need to talk about how gross that is. The implication that female youth is arousing has become so normalized that I feel like we've been desensitized to it for so many years. There are grown men who will proudly say that they don't like women with curves. They don't like women with hips or thighs or stomachs.
The weight, you're kind of overweight for me too.
Okay. You don't look like you work out, to be honest. That's I forgot to say it, but that is one of my deal breakers.
Men who want someone who's small enough for them to physically dominate, small enough to pick up. A grown woman has curves. A grown woman has weight and shape. But let some of these men tell it, it's just a preference. But what are your preferences rooted in? Society scrutinizes women for any sign that they're getting old. If you have a wrinkle or a little bit of gray hair or a body that doesn't bounce back like you're a teenager, it's a problem. And by your 30s, you get the cultural messaging that you're on the decline. And by 40, oh my gosh, you might as well just disappear. Like, you might as well just leave the planet Earth because you're completely useless, you're damaged goods, you're old and worn out. And it's also considered taboo to ask a woman her age. I was recently talking to a woman and I wanted to ask her how old she was, but then I had to mentally stop myself because I'm like, that's rude, that's bad etiquette. But why is that bad etiquette? Why are we supposed to pretend like aging isn't happening? We've all heard the age-old joke of like the woman who lies about her age and she's forever 29 on every birthday. Every minute, every second, and every day, we're all getting older. It's universal. And yet we as women are taught that we have to fear it. Because the further that you move away from girlhood, the less beautiful you are, I guess. The anti-aging market makes tens of billions of dollars a year globally, all built on the promise that women have to reverse time. You need the Botox injections and the wrinkle creams and the facelifts because aging is a disease that you have to cure. This is your homework assignment. Go to your local drugstore. Go to the skincare aisle. Count how many products you see with the words youth, renewal, lift, tightening. All of these names, all of these words, these marketing terms, they all tell you that a woman getting older is something that needs to be medicalized and fixed and monetized. And now we have an entire cult of youth, of women who spend endless money, endless time trying to look as young as possible. All because we prize youth as the ultimate beauty ideal of desirability. Who could forget Britney Spears' 1998 Baby One More Time music video? The schoolgirl uniform outfit and it's midriff exposing and she's got the pigtails. The song was catchy, even though I don't even know what it's about. Let's just be honest. It was just catchy sonically, but like, you know, those Swedish writers were just saying anything. But it was also the visual of a 16-year-old who was made to look provocative and innocent, and all of this while being in a school setting. That made the song a hit. And that image of Britney, that was permanently seared into the male gaze. And it launched a bajillion costumes with the schoolgirl aesthetic. Brands sold plaid miniskirts and the crop tops to boot to grown women. But no one ever questioned why cosplaying as a schoolgirl was considered to be hot. A schoolgirl is an underage child. Why is that considered to be hot? And I have to tell you, as a former Catholic schoolgirl myself, girl, I went through it. Having to walk throughout the neighborhood in my schoolgirl uniform that clearly denoted I'm underage, right? I'm wearing a uniform because I'm school aged, right? And yet I was still consistently catcalled by grown men in their 20s, 30s, 40s, you name it. All throughout high school and middle school too, because I also wore a uniform in middle school. And so many of us women have had the same experience. Tell me in the comments down below, how old were you when you were catcalled by a grown man for the first time? For me, it was 12, 13. And long before Britney, there was the 1962 film Lolita, which was based on the novel of the same name. Lolita etched this seductive young girl into the public imagination. The name Lolita itself then became a shorthand for a seductive, attractive young girl. And it's been so normalized that we see regularly fashion items that are named Lolita. And they're completely divorced from the horror of the original story, which was about a grown 40-something-ish year-old man getting with a 14-year-old. Predation of children should not ever be aestheticized. In fact, it's widely believed that Vladimir Nabokov, the author of the Lolita novel in which the movie is based, experienced childhood SA, and that's what inspired him to write the book. All the more reason that Lolita should never be romanticized or treated as an aesthetic. And when I was in college, Kat Von D had her own makeup line, Kat Von D Beauty, and some of the most popular products in the line were their matte lipsticks. And my go-to shade was this mauvey, nudish lipstick tone called Lolita. I didn't even think about it at the time. I just loved the color. And another shade that was infamously featured in the lipstick line was called Underage Red. In retrospect, it was disgusting and it was one of the many scandals that led to the brand ultimately falling out of favor, but still, like, we ignored it. I ignored it for years. It wasn't questioned. And not only by the consumer, most importantly, it was not questioned by Sephora and the other major retailers who carried it. They marketed them, they promoted them. It only became a problem once the public backlash made it too financially inconvenient to ignore. And we've talked about the Love's Baby Soft ads in the past, but I would be remiss if I did not bring it up again. In 1974, Love's Baby Soft infamously released perfume ads with taglines reading, "Because innocence is sexier than you think." This again showed that being innocent, being youthful was one of the most alluring traits in a woman.
There's one person nobody can resist, and that's a baby. So Love made Baby Soft with the innocent scent of a cuddly, clean baby that grew up very sexy, informing bath, body lotion, body powder, and body mist.
Yikes. One might hope that we have evolved since then. And in some ways we have, but in other ways we have not. I think that the marketing just got a little bit slicker. The messaging is still very much here. They're not saying be a sexy baby anymore. They're saying have glass skin, be a clean girl, have baby soft skin. Oh, look at her. She's so snatched. And snatched always means tiny in all the right places. Same destination, but with updated vocabulary. When popular culture constantly blurs the line between desirability and girlhood, it's normalizing seeing youth itself as attractive. If we look at the rise of coquette fashion, baby doll dresses, bows, ribbons, it's all soft, innocent styling that's meant to evoke fragility and childlike sweetness. And we've talked about all of the TikTok trends that romanticize girlhood. Girlhood equals desirability, womanhood equals decline. And the infantilization of women and beauty standards has also gone global. In countries like Japan and South Korea, the concept of looking childlike as an adult woman is ingrained into expectations of femininity. Kawaii culture, where women dress like little girls, and quote-unquote Lolita fashion, grown women adopt high-pitched voices and act demure, all to channel this childlike charm. There's even a term, burrito, which essentially means pretending to be naive like a fake child.
Rico pretends to be innocent and airheaded on purpose.
While some women might say they enjoy this as a way to personally express themselves, it's undeniably a way to signal that you're girlish and sweet and submissive. South Korea has its own parallel in the K-pop and drama scene, where there's a concept known as agyo, basically acting adorable and childish. It's encouraged as a trait for women to have. It's often seen amongst K-pop groups and reality shows, where you see grown women puffing their cheeks, doing baby talk, and generally performing the cute baby shtick. And they're always insanely thin and pale because whiteness is also associated with innocence. Korean beauty trends popularized the idea of the aegiosol, which is literally adding a little fat bulge under your eyes via makeup or even fillers, because it mimics the look of childlike puffiness under your eyes like a baby. And it supposedly makes your face look younger and cuter because that's considered to be attractive. And so there is essentially a feedback loop where our culture says that men prefer women that look tiny and cute and demure and wrinkle-free, have no signs of aging, and women feel pressured to comply. Industries capitalize on that pressure by selling products. And so when we see those files, those files that are being released, we should be able to draw the parallel that a lot of our beauty standards are being made to cater to those PDF files. I have to speak like this because of the censorship, but PDF files, read between the lines. Les Wexner, the billionaire founder of the retail empire that once owned brands like Victoria's Secret and Pink, among others, recently appeared in those files and is being alleged as a co-conspirator. For decades, Victoria's Secret was one of the most powerful brands that promoted the very beauty ideal of ultra-thin, uniformly young women as the apex of desirability. And whether or not he participated in those crimes, he had a very well-documented relationship with you-know-who. So the very companies that sold the fantasy of youthful desirability had executives that were intimately connected with people who were preying on that fantasy in real life. And predatory ideas often arrive softened and aestheticized and made to be cute and quote-unquote harmless. They show up as jokes and as cosmetic trends, as costumes and pop culture references. The horror gets laundered into aesthetics. And capitalism, consumerism, all of these oppressive systems are great at turning horror, at turning violence into aesthetics, into branding, because you forget what the origin story is then. And predatory systems thrive on us believing that none of it matters. Because if everything is just entertainment, then nothing needs to be interrogated. Nothing needs to change. You just keep consuming. It's not that deep. Here's some advice for the women. Embrace your natural voice, even if it's a little deeper. Having body hair does not make you less feminine. Okay, I understand shaving certain areas for comfort reasons, but I'm talking about the possession of any body hair on your body. That does not make you less feminine. Having hair on your body is biological. It's just hair. It just makes you a human adult. Maybe on your 30th birthday, decide that you're not going to downplay it by making jokes that you're still 25 or 29. You don't need a 12-step skincare routine to combat aging, nor do you need Botox and filler. Taking care of your skin is good and well, but please do not twist yourself in knots trying to reclaim the younger version of yourself. The capitalist patriarchy wants you to believe the opposite because your insecurity is profitable. You're allowed to take up space and to use your big girl voice. And if your media diet is still made up of influencers constantly body checking, posting before and after weight loss pictures or videos or what I eat in a day videos, which are basically just ED tutorials, you might want to unfollow that influencer. Tell them, Queenie, unfollow. Queenie and I both want you to know that you cannot heal your relationship with your body if you're still consuming content that's making you hate it, right? Queenie and I both want you to know that exhausted women resist less. Isolated, atomized women compete with each other instead of organizing together. While we're busy counting calories and obsessing over wrinkles and panicking about turning 30 or turning 40, women in the global south and really all over the world are doing the work that makes our lifestyles sustainable. Women in garment factories sewing clothes that we're told that we need to stay trendy and stay cute and young. Women in beauty supply chains, in domestic labor and service industries, often working in slavery-like conditions. So consumers in the global north can maintain the lifestyles of constant consumption. Women in the global north and in the global south are being exploited under the same system, just in different ways. And capitalism benefits from both. We don't need more women competing over who best fits the little girl beauty standards. What we need, as I've said a million times over, is women who are able to think critically and to challenge power. So if you're a woman watching this, if you take nothing else away from this conversation, be a woman, not a little girl. Stop putting yourself down and stop twisting yourself in knots to cater to beauty standards that are made to keep you weak and forever infantilized. And that, my friends, that is all I've got for you today. I'd love to hear from you in the comments down below. I want to hear your thoughts about the pressures to look as young as possible. Have you ever found yourself on that hamster wheel where you're just hoarding product after product trying to recapture your youth? I want to hear from you in the comments down below. What are your thoughts? If you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up. And if you really liked it and you want more content like this, definitely hit the subscribe button. And if you want to see what I'm up to outside of YouTube, you can follow me on my social media profiles down here. And if you want to help support my work so I can continue creating content like this, please do join my Patreon, where you can contribute for as little as $1.50 a month or $5 a month if you're feeling a little bit more generous. You get early release as well as additional bonus content. And besides all that, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll talk to you all next time.